So how's your group looking over the players that are out there?
Well, they're doing good. They're really, interested in working hard. Shep's done a good job with them. They're in a culture that believes in throwing the ball around the field, so they understand how important their role are and how important it is to prepare for practices. So it's been a really fun group to coach.
And then talk about Tyrone Tracy, maybe what he's going to bring to your group.
Well, he's a more mature kid. So even though he may not have played a lot of football, he's like his personality and his demeanor is more of a mature, settling demeanor. And I think that's what he brings. He has a voice that they're all listening to. There's multiple leaders in the room, but he has stepped in without even playing. And you can tell he's going to fill a leadership role for us.
So why was Purdue a good fit for you, other than getting another job?
Because of our head coach. Yeah, simple as that. I mean, I know him. I know how organized, detailed. I know how passionate he is about winning football. We have been in contact a lot, even before all this came up, just about how things work. And I mean, that's it. It's simply because of him.
How much does your experience working with quarterbacks carry over into the receiver class?
Yeah, well, I've always said that I could teach him what the quarterback's thinking. Like a lot of times a receiver thinks that he's open and available for the quarterback, but the angle that he's given the quarterback, he's not really available for him. So, you got to be where you're supposed to be at the time you're supposed to be there in a really good position so the quarterback can understand where you are and where you're going. So it's all through the eyes of the quarterback, especially when you're running a precision passing game. And the receivers have to know what he's thinking and, how he's going to see things.
Hey, Garrick, take me back to when you were at UAB and when you hired Jeff Brom. What attracted you to Jeff way back then?
Well, at the time, there had only been two people that had offensive coordinator and quarterback coach for Bobby Petrino, and that was me and Jeff. Jeff had Stephon LaFleur's, I think he led the country in passing percentages. Then Stephon graduated, and then Brian came, and Brian was one of the top players in the country. So it was back-to-back, two different players were developed. So I never did interview. Jeff Brom was like, yeah, dude, you can come. I would love for you to come. Yeah, just a lot of respect for how he sees football, how important, every detail is. And so it was like, yeah, I'd love to have him. You got to bring Brady along with you, though. That was stipulation Brady had to come to.
And then you've got a pretty Big Ten background. Just talking about that, we're Northwestern and Illinois, right?
Yeah, I understand what the Big Ten is. And, on a really nice day like this, the wind could be a factor in this part of the country. So, catching the balls when the wind is, moving the balls around. Ultimately we're going to get in October, when it's going to be Big Ten game after Big Ten, talking physical games. The weather's going to be different. That's what the Big Ten is. So I have a lot of appreciation for how physical and tough the conference is.
What have you seen out of Deion Burks this spring? Kind of project where he could land.
He's a really fun kid to be around. Very confident kid. Athletically, he has the ability to accelerate and make moves and make plays with his feet. I think coming out of last year, he has a better understanding of the system. So he knows how to manipulate the defense with certain things. But I love the kid. I think he has to be, a major weapon for us.
Who else do you see as major weapons for you once you get everybody done?
Well, I've watched all the film. There's a bunch of guys in there. I think that, it could be different where, last few years we've had one guy that was elite and then a bunch of really good players. Well, this year I think we have more really good players maybe than we've had. So the ball could be spread around and give the defense more problems because you have, 6 or 7 guys that are all high-level Big Ten players. So just really looking forward to continuing to get better, finish spring ball right, go into summer, go back and study everything, study defensive structure in the Big Ten, and then get ready for fall camp, see if we can make a run.
Hey, Preston Terrell, redshirt freshman, and Zion Steptoe.
Yeah.
early guy. Have they done anything to catch your eye?
They've done a lot. Preston is competitive. He's working on his footwork every day, but he can jump. He can make catches. I just saw that he could jump. I didn't understand. I didn't know he was a high jumper, coming out of high school until, after we talked about it. And then Zion comes in, and Zion is a competitive dude, man. He's not small because his body's kind of thick, but he's really competitive. He likes catching the ball in traffic. He'll compete for the ball in the air. He's been really impressive since he's been here.
Obviously, the spring has been a time for some of these younger guys and new faces coming in to really have the opportunity to step into the offense and things like that. But in terms of some of the veteran guys that haven't really gotten the opportunity to practice as much, how hands-on have they been in just their leadership presence and being able to spectate things going on?
Yeah, they've been really good in the meeting room with, maybe a change in the system that has been changed since I was with the system, and they'll be able to go, no, coach, this is how I go, okay, I got you. But at the same time, they have to understand that they haven't done anything competitive for a while, and they won't do anything competitive until August. So I have to push them to make sure they understand what's at stake so they never get lazy. They're doing a good job in rehab, but they have to keep their minds sharp and their competitive spirit sharp, because they're going to be really important. As soon as they get back, they're going to need to be ready.
What do you want to see from your group in Saturday's game, spring game?
I wanted to see them be as competitive as anyone's ever seen as a group, in the run game and in the pass game. I want to see them take care of the football, meaning when you catch it, then you're going to secure the ball. And then I want them to see them play for 60 minutes straight, not these mood swings or the momentum swings, and we drop 3 or 4 balls, then we pick it back up in the third quarter and play. Just a consistent way of going about our business is really what